Plaintiff Jennifer Sloan rented an apartment with the defendant, and she claims while they were living together, the defendant had unprotected sex with multiple men and ended up getting several sexually transmitted diseases. Jennifer says the defendant moved out before their lease expired, so she's suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Ashley Kelly says while she lived with Jennifer, she was controlling and violent. And when Jennifer was pregnant, she tried to fight Ashley. Ashley claims while they were roommates, Jennifer's boyfriend was arrested for murder, and she's countersuing for personal property.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Greg Mathis presiding. You may now be seated.
Start with you.
She used to be my friend. I met her through other friends. She decided to come stay with my parents 3 or 4 months prior to us getting an apartment. We moved in together and I found out the real about Ashley. She wanted to live the party life, have sex with plenty of boys, catch sexual transmitted diseases plenty of times.
Why did she want to catch sex?
Because she would have sex unprotected.
No.
My dad provided us plenty of condoms, but she never used them. So I had to take her to the doctor plenty of times to get treated for sexual transmitted.
Plenty of times?
Yes, plenty, like 6, 7 times.
Oh, what course of how long?
We moved in December 18th. She moved out at the end of August.
So in 9 months, she had VD 6 times in 9 months.
She wouldn't take all of her antibiotics, so it wouldn't go away, so you're gonna keep getting it back.
So it wouldn't go away?
Right.
You nasty.
That's not, that is not true, Your Honor.
That's not true?
No.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If it's not true, please accept my apology.
It's okay.
All right, I didn't know. I didn't hear you saying anything over there. I didn't hear you saying, that's not true. What would you be doing when all these men would come in and out?
I'd be in my room, or she
Alone,
had
reading
her
the Bible,
room.
huh?
No, that is not true. No, sir.
Well, what would you do?
I had a job. When we moved in, I had a job. She did not have a job. So I would be at work. I would work from 10 to 4 in the afternoon.
All right, well, you had from 5 until 2 in the morning.
Right.
So what would you be doing?
I would just be there. I would talk to some of the boys she would bring in.
Oh, you're getting around to it now.
Yeah, she
First you
would.
said you'd be in your room.
Right, I would
The
be
boys
in my
would be
room.
in your room with you then.
Mm-hmm.
If you were talking to them,
No, we would be in the
let's
living
go
room.
over it again. Didn't you say? I said, what would you be doing? You said, I'd be in my room.
Right.
All right. Then a couple seconds later, I said, what would you be doing exactly? You said, I'd be talking with the boys. It sounds like you would be in your room talking to the boys.
Right.
All right. Just so I understand what you're telling me.
They would just be smoking a blunt and they would just be there talking. I don't smoke.
So not
weed,
only did you have boys in your bedroom talking to them, they were using dope in front of you.
Yes.
Did you ever catch anything?
Yeah, before.
Oh, no, you're right. You had condoms. Yeah, you're right. You did like Daddy told you, right?
Right.
Smart girl.
I'd rather be in her room.
You wouldn't have to go to the hospital. That's your point. Is that your point? You wouldn't have to make 6 trips to the hospital. She said that's not true. Let me get some background from you on your lifestyle when you all lived together.
Well, living with her was like living in hell.
How so?
She is very controlling and violent. She, on one occasion, tried to fight me while she was pregnant and tried to kick me out. Yes.
You conveniently left that out. That you were a teenage mother.
If I was pregnant to try to fight her, I'm 4 months pregnant now. She left in August. That means I got pregnant right before she left. She was pregnant before that. No, I was never pregnant. This is the first time being pregnant. Thank you.
Okay, well then you lied to everybody.
It's none of your business how many times I'm pregnant. You're not taking care of it. You can't even take care of yourself.
I look like I take care of myself
Obviously,
right now.
you live with your mom, honey.
No.
She takes care of you off her social security check, honey. Girl up, get your own apartment.
I would have my own apartment if you didn't kick me out.
Go ahead.
She just tried to control me. I never had my key to our apartment. Her first boyfriend had the key. Then he went to jail, and her second boyfriend had a key.
What did he go to jail for?
Murder.
Wow.
But he did go to jail for murder over her because she gave
That's not
somebody
true, Your Honor.
$300 of her income
is not
tax
true, Your
money
Honor.
Quiet.
to buy weed, and the boy never gave her all the weed. He only gave her $200 worth of the weed. He ripped her off for $100, so her and the boy decided to kill the boy over $100. Yeah, I get to the bottom of
She
it.
conspired with the
Right, with the boy.
Go ahead, ma'am. This is getting more and more ridiculous. You all live like this?
Not by choice, but
What forces you to be associated with the murderer and all the things that she
Right.
alleges? We're going to get to the unpaid rent shortly, but this
Right.
is just so insightful in terms of how teenagers live now. How old are you?
18.
And you're how old?
21.
What city are you all from?
Columbus, Ohio.
Columbus? Makes sense. Ohio State. Go ahead. You know, I'm a Michigan fan. Go ahead, the main rivalry. Let's get to the rent you're suing her about.
Yes, in August, she finally found a job through a temp service. So of that week of her first finding the job, she met a boy there. And it was just all about this boy, him coming over. She wanted to go kick it with him. And she said that she was going to go to her mom's house for her mom's, I think it was her brother's and somebody else's birthday party. So she said she'll be back after the end of the week. Well, she never came back after the end of the weekend. She sent me a text. I said, you need to make up your mind what you're going to do, if you're going to stay with your mom or if you're going to still live here.
That's
and
not true.
she said,
Was she paying to live there?
no. See, her mom,
How long had she lived there?
she lived there since December.
Okay, so she lived there approximately 9 months.
Right. She probably paid 2 or 3 times. Her mom would help her pay. My father would help her pay, and she would have to pay him back, but sometimes she didn't.
So when she didn't show up at the
She
end of
didn't
the
show
week,
up. I kept calling her and texting her. I told her our lease will be up in December. We need to shampoo the carpets and get everything back to how it was before we have to be out. So she kept saying she was going to come. She was going to come. She never did. So finally I called her and I told her, either you're coming back or you're not. I'm done playing your little games. She said that I think it's best that I move out because we went into this too early. We rushed too fast and it's not best for me to live there. So I said, okay, when are you going to come get your stuff then? She said in a couple of days. I was like, okay, well, I can pack it in
approximately when was this?
the 10th, September
10th.
So
is
she
when you
did
all
not
agreed
pay.
she would come get her thing.
Right, and her mom lives by my parents' house,
So
close
what
to
happened?
there. So I told her I can pack your stuff and take it to my parents' house and you can get it from
What
there.
did she say?
And she said, that's fine, please don't throw none of my stuff away.
Okay.
I said, okay, my
Okay,
little
so you're suing for unpaid rent, and that's for what months?
September, October, November, and December.
All right. Ma'am?
I had gotten the job that she said she could take me back and forth to work to, because I did not have a car at the time. Well, she had a problem with that in September, so I called my mom and told her that I need a ride. She said, okay, that's fine. She gave me a ride, but then I kept needing a ride, so she said, why don't you just stay this week with me and you can go home. I was like, okay, that's fine. And the September 10th was, my mom was on Friday. I was on my way to the house and I called her saying I'm on my way home. And then her boyfriend was in the background talking stuff about me. I said, well, I'm not coming home tonight if he's gonna keep talking stuff. She said, well, just stay where you're at. I said, okay, fine. Well, I'm on my way home. So I went to go get some clothes and go back to my mom's house and help her set up for her party the next day. And then she just texted me saying, well, I'm taking all your stuff to my dad's house in about a half an hour, and I have till tomorrow to pick it up. I have a text messaging saying that.
No, what happened
You
was...
agreed to let her take your things to her dad's
Yes,
house?
she did.
After she sent that text message, I said, fine, that's fine. I can go pick it up, and that's it.
And you agreed to move?
Yes.
I did not want to
She
move.
said that the
Hold
reason...
on. You said that when she told you could go, you said, okay, fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, I said, okay, fine, because, there's no way winning with her.
But it's your
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
Or
is.
the
Yes, it
highway.
is. You said, no, I ain't going nowhere.
right.
Well, I didn't want to go nowhere, but it was
So why
her
didn't you
decision.
say that?
Because I'm not going to argue with her.
And you think that's an eviction?
No.
Right.
She said it was the best thing to
And
do.
if you leave by choice without paying rent before the lease expires, you've breached your agreement. And if you breach your agreement, you got to pay the balance of the rent. But let's get to your personal property, your counterclaim for $700.
Yes, I had a bed there and my computer. And I never received that or nothing.
Okay, ma'am?
Okay, one, she did live with her mom had a low-income apartment before she came to stay with us. Ashley told me that somebody broke in and stole all her stuff. So there was never no computer. My dad, the day before, we moved in, my dad took me to buy all my furniture for my apartment. He bought everything in it. It came to $1,000 and some. And Ashley, the local income apartment, had bed bugs. So she didn't bring nothing from the apartment to our apartment because it had bed bugs. So my dad took her and purchased a bed. It was not like a brand new bed. He got the bed from somebody. It was used. It had mold at the bottom and the board was broke. It was never her bed. She never purchased it.
If your father purchased it for her, it was hers at the time he purchased it. Now, I'll read from your text. All your stuff is about to be at my dad's in like an hour. You have till tomorrow to pick it up. That is not enough notice to give someone to come and get their things. Ma'am, I'm going to grant your judgment for the personal property, $700. Unpaid rent, I will grant you $934. She agreed to move on her own just because in the midst of an argument, you say, well, just go ahead and stay. That is a common occurrence when roommates are arguing, get out, and then it cools out. You, after that little minor argument, took it upon yourself to conclude that I'm not going back there. She told me to move, so I'm moving. $934 for you, $700 for you, leaving you, man, with $234. Have a good day, ladies.
She can say whatever she wants. It's not gonna bother my character.
That's all she always says, is she don't care. She don't care about nothing. She don't even care about herself or her body.